Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Wilson and I'm the Nutrition Manager at Gleaners Food Bank of Indiana. For the past 40 years, Gleaners has focused on its mission of leading the fight against hunger. Most recently, we've really honed in on providing the most nutritious mix of foods possible, as well as educating our neighbors on how to make these foods into simple, healthy, and affordable meals. As a registered dietitian nutritionist, my goal is to make good nutrition accessible to everyone. So that's why we're here today in my small but mighty home kitchen to show you one of my all-time favorite recipes, veggie quesadillas. It's simple and quick, healthy and affordable, and I think your whole family will love it. It's also the perfect main dish or appetizer to enjoy while you watch our 40th anniversary special coming up on September 10th. So let's get started. Before we start any food prep, it's important to make sure that our hands and our workspace are clean. Make sure you wash your hands with warm water and soap for at least 20 seconds and clean your surfaces and wash your hands again in between tasks while you're cooking. Alright, so we're going to begin by gathering all of our ingredients together. This is a best practice anytime you're following a recipe so you can make sure you have everything you need before you get started. Most of the ingredients we're using today are actually foods that Gleaners distributes through its on-site food pantry, mobile food pantries, and community site partners. You can also find everything you need for the recipe by going to your local Kroger or by ordering groceries online through Kroger Pickup. Now, I did say these were called veggie quesadillas, which you may not put those two things together. But this is a wonderful way to pack in some extra nutrition, especially if you have a picky eater at home. You can use whichever vegetables you have on hand that your family prefers, that are growing in your garden, that you get from the food pantry, whatever you like. Today, I chose to use a medium zucchini, a can of corn, and half of a medium onion as our vegetable add-ins. Now, zucchini and corn are both still in season late in the summer, which means they're going to be at their peak quality and their lowest prices, and they're going to be readily available at any grocery store or farmer's market. The zucchini, I chose to leave the skin on because that's where a lot of the nutrition is packed in. The skin of the zucchini has lots of vitamin A and carotenoids to help support eye health and a strong immune system. So make sure you keep that peel on. You can dice them or grate them depending on your preference of how strong you want the texture and the flavor of the zucchini to be. For the corn, I chose to use canned corn because it's quick and simple and it tends to be a family favorite that I have on hand all the time. But you can also use fresh or frozen. If you're using fresh corn, you can use about 1 to 2 cups of fresh kernels cut directly off the cob. You don't even have to cook it, even though most people think you have to. If you're using frozen corn, use about the same amount, 1 to 2 cups, depending on your preference. And if you're using canned corn, make sure you drain and rinse those so that you can remove some of the extra sodium. And then our last vegetable I'm adding in today is half of a medium onion, diced finely. You can add a little more, a little less, depending on your family's preferences. And again, you can use any vegetable you have on hand. Grated carrots or sweet potatoes are a great option. Frozen mixed vegetables, leftover grilled veggies you might have in the fridge, spinach, mushrooms, you name it. You can really add whatever you like into these quesadillas. All right, so we're gonna mix all of these together in a bowl and then move on to our next step. Our next ingredient is a can of drained and rinsed black beans. If you don't have black beans, any kind of bean will work, whether it's canned or cooked from dried. Again, we wanna make sure we rinse any kind of beans that are canned to remove extra sodium, along with that dark colored juice that usually is found in especially black beans. Beans are a heart-healthy protein option to add into our quesadillas because they're high in fiber and low in fat. If you're not a big fan of beans, that's totally okay. You can also add in some other lean protein options like chicken or tuna or any kind of shredded beef or pork, ground turkey, you name it. Lastly, we're going to add into our vegetable bowl 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of chili powder to add a little extra seasoning. We'll mix that together until everything is all combined, and then we will start to fill our quesadillas. Now we're going to heat 1 tablespoon of olive or vegetable oil in a skillet over medium heat. Add the veggies into the skillet and cook them until they're soft and heated through. transfer them to a bowl because we'll come back to these in just a bit. Now we can start filling our tortillas. Today I'm using 100% whole wheat tortillas because whole grains are higher in fiber, protein, and B vitamins than your traditional flour tortillas. Corn tortillas are also a great option because they count as whole grains as well, and they tend to be lower in sodium than your traditional flour tortillas. Whatever you have at home is totally okay though. We're going to fill each tortilla with about 1/3 cup of the veggie mixture and 1/4 cup of shredded cheese. Any kind of shredded cheese works in this. I'm using a queso blend just to make it a little more festive for veggie quesadillas. And once you have the filling inside the tortilla, we'll fold it in half and kind of push it down a bit so the filling goes all the way to the edges. Next, we'll transfer about 2 to 3 quesadillas back into our skillet where we have another tablespoon of oil heated up, ready to go. You can cook about 2 to 3 quesadillas depending on your pan size, and you just want to heat them until they're golden brown on the outside and the cheese is nice and melty on the inside. Now you can cut your quesadilla in half and top it with your favorite toppings. Today I'm going to use some salsa, fresh cilantro, and plain yogurt instead of sour cream to cut down on saturated fat content. You can add whatever your family likes, including avocado, some jalapenos, maybe some hot sauce, whatever you prefer. To make this dish a balanced meal, you can also serve your quesadilla with some fresh fruit, maybe canned fruit, and a side of vegetables. This recipe makes about 8 servings, so it's good for the whole family or maybe some snacks throughout the week. Thank you so much for joining me for this recipe demo today and for your continued support of Gleaners Food Bank. If you would like more nutrition content or healthy recipes like this, visit our new Nutrition Hub website at gleanersnutritionhub.org. You can also follow Nutrition Hub on Facebook or Instagram. Tag us in your photos if you make these veggie quesadillas or another favorite healthy recipe so we can see what you're up to and all learn from each other. Thanks again, and we cannot wait to see you for our Gleaners 40th anniversary special coming up on September 10th at 7:30 p.m.